Hello, welcome back. Another week of White Filth updates. This is new collection. I know we said we were going to do about once every 2 weeks, but since we have a lot to catch up on, we are going to blast through another one of these and then maybe one more. We'll see where the interviews go, but I'm going to stop promise things because it's not always in my reach to make sure it happens. I was watching the previous New Collection update and I noticed, or I was listening to it and I noticed I say "if you will" about 150 times. So normally I would have asked Adams to kick me in the nuts every time I say it, but he bowed out for this week. Just because he had a lot of work himself. So we're doing this solo like the olden days, and then, you know, if everything works in the normal way, you should have the same picture and sound that we got used to. So yeah, that's the caveat. Is there anything more? Yeah, I will probably say "if you will" about 100 times, and I'll try to build it down. But yeah, here we go. There is no rhyme and reason. I'm not sure what the main bits are going to be, but the first thing, as it is usually in these videos lately, we start off with gifts. I got some tapes from Dominance of Darkness Records, and there was something wrong with an order a few orders ago, and the guy, I don't know his name, he gifted me the Corneas Grolfried 7-inch. There you go, a classic in the newer. Classic is a big word, of course, but a good 7-inch between one old and one newer entity within this world of weird dungeon synth. Let's call it dungeon synth, just synth maybe. Music Corneas is one of the BSOD monikers, and then Golfried is, you know, the guy I talk about all the time, Siegfried, which will pop up a lot more. There's a Phantom Spire, I think, Formless Weight of the Black Ascension, that is coming out. There you go, I have to keep it in front of my eyes. That is the promo flyer. And then there is Salfreux material coming out, a split with Civilis or something like it. Yeah. That's there. Another promo. So yeah, this is limited to 350 copies. This came out on tape, produced in 2020 by Narventage and Dominance of Darkness, layout by RK, and remastered in 2019 by Travis Nordahl. Your copy is 125. There you go. So yeah, a nifty little 7-inch. The tape by now is going for, you know, 50 euros or something like it, and it's cool to have this material on analog format and not pay a kidney, if you will. Witch hat and a familiar cross on the back. So yeah, thank you, Mr. Dominance of Darkness, for sending this my way. So yeah, that's the first little gift that was popped in. I got a tape order. It will show up in the tape delay because there's one building, a huge one, I think 2 actually. But yeah, there's some Friedhof stuff in there. We talking about tapes. We are listening to the Voyeur's Blood Mutilation of the Whole EP that came out this year, last year, I'm not sure. I waited on it a bit because it wasn't showing up in distros. Hatework was supposed to have some copies, but they never showed up for some reason. It is on Perverse Homage. It's been some time since that label touched down in this basement, but there it is. Black metal adjacent, that's the best way I can describe it. It is guys that are closely affiliated with the label that do some noisy, you can hear it, it's almost gabber in some parts. I added it to my list for the Bootshaven interview, Jesus Christ, interview that is coming up in the next one, I think, end of April. Haven't heard. But yeah, Nuke the Earth. It is Voyeur and Slavehammer. Voyeur on voice, strings, keys, additional sequencing, and Slavehammer on percussion. But yeah, finally have it. I kind of like this this project. I have everything from them except for the promo that they put the flame to. So yeah, that is nice that this is finally in collection. Speaking about gifts, we're going to do one more gift round and then into the update proper. This is an update proper, but you know what I'm saying. Into labels. I have to look at it. Into Endless Chaos. I'm sorry. Should have prepared that, but you know the deal. Into Endless Chaos released the Weathered Crest, a blossoming of the paths, full length, I should say, after the EP that was released, I think last year, I'm not sure, the little white 7-inch with the skull logo. I got it from Charlie at the time. He hyped me to the fact that it was coming out. I had my eye on it because it is Vittala is the guy's name, or his moniker. He is the guy behind Filth that has bands like Gates of Londra, yeah, I'm blanking on Brand, stuff like that. He is also in Hexenzirkel, something like that. Then Weathered Crest assisting. Broken Column was the EP. And then he's also in Kringa. Now, that entire Austrian scene is kind of linked together person to person, because on this record there are people from Kringa working together with him. There are people from, what is that band again? Hagzisa, which is also, members of Hagzisa also play on this, or from Kringa. It is, I have to look more into it. It's really not important, just to say that they are all connected in some way, that entire Austrian scene, or that part of the Austrian scene. But yeah, this is the limited edition, I guess, or the special edition that was held for the fest. I pre-ordered this when it came out. You can see there is another copy, but it's just, it's the entire record, but just without the medallions that came over the obi. And this one has an extra poster and a pin back. I posted it on social media, I think on Instagram, and I said the medallions are coming in the mail. I was under the impression that they all had the medallions, but it seems that they were for the fest or something like that. What this is a very distorted, guitar-driven black metal record that deals with the concept is that nature is taking over the entire thing, that nature will take back the earth. That is basically what is called the ruins, which I always found an interesting image, you know, nature or vines, or, you know, plant life that takes over abandoned places, such as this cathedral-looking thing. But yeah, it's the, what was it called again? The previous EP, the Broken Column, also had that post-influence. I wouldn't say, yeah, post-punk maybe, because I called something post-rock last week, and that is completely beside the point, because there was no, I'm not even sure what it was, but post-rock is definitely beside the point in most of these cases. I am going to try to unpack it, because there, like I said, is a lot of things in here. Let's start off with the sleeve. It is a fold-over, there you go, classic. It is a fold-over sleeve, like we are used to by Natale and Skill, labels like that. But yeah, they put a lot of work into it, and like I said, I had it on pre-order for half a year, I think, on Bandcamp, but then it came out all of a sudden. Nice looking obi. It seems it is printed or stamped in blood. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like blood, but it could be just diluted paint. And then the medallions are actually coins, old, I think. Let's see, what is that? French, I think. I can't read it. They are really old. Yeah, French or maybe Austrian. That would be. No, it's Française. République Française, so French coins, I guess, just old coins. There are 9 tracks on here. It says 10, but I have an intro, an interlude, and an outro, or they have. But yeah, it's the post-punk on this is a bit pulled back into the shadows, and it's not as big of an influence on this one as it was on the Broken Column. But yeah, it is still there a bit here and there that it shines through. They were all on this nice looking black vinyl with the Into Endless Chaos Records center label. Nothing special vinyl color wise. The poster is basically the Bloods logo laid over the entire cover, and it's basically, it's a very big poster. There we go. Let's lean a bit, but yeah. I have to see I don't hit the mic all the time. What else came with it? There was, see, that's the last thing. There was a promo for the Weathered Crest, Blossoming of the Paths, the CD version, and the LP version. There is a tape version that is out on Tour de Garde, which will be coming up later. The sound is actually like this. It is very distorted, fragmented, yeah, almost hacked up. But yeah, to be honest, the last time I listened to it, it was through a cell phone speaker, so that could be part of it. There is a lyric sheet. Like I said, they put some work into this. And I think this is also on the just a limited version, not the fast version. And then this is the Into Endless Chaos Records promo thing that has spot gloss on it. This is basically one of the nicest promo cards I ever saw. Releases such as Evil Warriors, Veiled, Morast, Tyrannic, Spectres and Teeth, which came out last year, I think. Weathered Crest, Broken Column, so yeah. There's a lot to delve into and check out. And the last thing that was in the package is a wax sealed little envelope that had the Broken Column logo. And that's the logo that was on, does that focus? No, not really. It's the logo that is on the Broken Column 7-inch. So that's it. That was the complete package for that. I have a double, so if you are looking for the record and you want to trade, I don't need money, or not a lot. I just want what I paid for it. I don't even know, so I prefer trades. But Into Endless Chaos, I got to talk to the guy and I asked him if you have any promo, if you want me to do promo for the, you know, a bit, just because he hooked me up. Just put in some promo, meaning put in some flyers and stickers like these, which are very cool. He misunderstood me and he just put in a ton of tapes and 2 CDs. First one is Veiled in Blinding Presence, I think, yes. Veiled, I know from, I have a tape, one tape, I listened to it last week, so it's basically a coincidence. In Blinding Presence, yes, Chaos 22. Their first material came out on Iron Bonehead, so I never heard this one. And then Death Ride with Delirium, yes. Death Ride is one of the bands that is also on Luchtgat, the label from Pede Alkerdeel, so very excited to listen to this one. He also hooked me up with the 2 fest tapes that Hail Conjurer did, the Lunar Action and Anti-Dualist, that are these 2. There you go. I have no idea. It's basically 2 new EPs. There's nothing info-wise on here. It's just 2 black tapes with white scribble going over it. So, you know, I'm an Hail Conjurer enthusiast, so let's see what that is all about. And then if that wasn't enough, he added 3 extra tapes which will show up. I have no idea what they are. I put in this one, and I have to blank on the, it's Remser with Die Nacht gehörte mir. So that's the first one. Cool looking tape with a statue that just beheaded someone. Classic statue. Then the Arcana, I think, Arcana with the Profundis, which I looked into it a bit in the J card, and it's 3 parts, Profundis 1, 2, and 3, and then the Vampiric Tyrant with Schwarze Schwingen, I think. Schwarze Schwingen. I don't know what that means. It's German, but yeah. So yeah, 3 good-looking tapes. It's a label that puts a lot of effort, as you can see by the Weathered Crest, into their releases. So that's always appreciated. I'll put them there, and I'll play the first tape, the black and white one, next, after the Voir's Blood. That was basically the first part. I'm going to cut it here just to remove some clutter, and then we'll go into part 2. Okay, part 2. We are now listening to the Remser, I think it's called, with Die Nacht gehörte mir on, check again, Into Endless Chaos. There we go. Good start. I wanted to show the Voir's Blood tape. That's the first one of this kind I have. It's glossy, completely black. You can see for shit through it, so it all kind of really fits together. I'm not going to read the inside because we will be here all night, but yeah, check it out if you're into the weirder side of extreme music, if you will. There we go. First one. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to start with, and then around that to end. I think about a year ago, maybe 2 years, one of my end of the year resolutions was let's get into the Lugubrum, because I had the sticker here forever, the Beers or Die, and they always were on the periphery of my interests. They were the Belgian black metal band par excellence, or one of the, if you will. There we go. We are off to the races. So they always piqued my interest, but I never dove in, mainly to the fact that I heard the later material first and then went back to actually listen to black metal. We did a ton of material on them. We will do maybe a bit more. I think I'm going to ask Charlie when that box comes in, the third crypt box. There's a nice stack of Lugubrum records. But I made good on that promise, because I made a serious dent lately in all those records, or in that complete collection. A record that I never talked about, because when I did Grondwerk with Jo, we always talked about the full length. We never talked about the promo, the demo, or the split material that they did. And I don't think we ever talked about the live. But yeah, I am now reaching the split section of the discography, if you will. And oh my god. Yeah, I'm not going to do this again. You have to live with it, if you will. This is the split between Lugubrum, Arca Sva, and Sacrificia, I have to see, Mortuorum. So a Japanese black metal band, a French black metal band, and then Lugubrum, the Belgian black metal band. I don't know the others. Looking into it, there seems to be some more sketch material on the French side, but I have to say I don't know anything about the other bands. They have 2 tracks on here, Chant 13 and Burgdom for the Japanese band, and then the French is Sophia and a bunch of Roman numerals. It's said on the record that it's exclusive material by all bands, but Lugubrum has 3 tracks on here, In Gold by Kaarslicht, which is from the Vette Keuken, if I'm not mistaken. The Dog is in the Doorway is from the Ware Hond, and Isire, I think, is from Albino de Congo. Yeah, I think so. So it's 3 exclusive tracks in the sense that they are live tracks, but yeah. It is on Those Opposed Records, and this is number 17, so it's one of the earlier they released. Very glossy sleeve, just a single sleeve. And there you go. It comes with a poster, which is basically the cover, but then stretched to a rectangle instead of a square format, which kind of blows, but there you go. And then it has 3 cards that come with it. The first one is for the Sacrificia Mortuorum. There you go. It has a lyrics side, I think, or maybe some more info. Then the Japanese fellas. There you go. Actually quite excited to hear them because they kind of look cool. And then Lugubrum, which has Barditus, Midjaars, Svein, Noctis, and Bodhidharma. Something like that. Recorded live at Paradox Tilburg in Holland in 2008. So yeah, there is the live shot, and then the back has the titles. But yeah, not exclusive by a long shot. Did it come with anything else? No, that's about it. It is the clear not crystal clear, but the milky clear vinyl Lugubum has one side, and then the other two are sharing a side. I got this at a very, very reasonable price from Grim Spirits, so I have to thank him once again, but they were all basically in the same package. But yeah, another Lugubum chapter in the collection. That's good. And then a straight Discogs purchase, because I wasn't finding it anywhere. But now it seems the label has put up, today it has put up this record. I haven't paid too much or too much more, since the other one has to come from England. But yeah, this is Albino de Congo on Aphelion Records. It is the colored version with the extra patch. Albino de Congo is still a very straight up black metal record, I should say. I don't know what it deals with lyrically. I just got it, and I don't think there is a lyric sheet for this thing. But yeah, it has to do with Africa, and if you say Belgium and Africa in the same sentence, there is not much good that can come of it. I don't know if you know the history between those countries, but yeah, it is not a great. Comes with this poster. And there you go. The weird circles that you can see throughout a lot of their releases. I think the Wild has them too. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is the colored version. And this is white with yellow streaks running through it. Flies all over the place. And there he is, Mr. Is it Leopold II, the most hated king in Belgium, especially in the new era. And then this, the special edition, or short second up again, came with this fly patch, the yellow one. I think there were, I'm pretty sure there were versions with shirts that came with it, but I guess that was a long time ago. So yeah, Albino de Congo. Two more in the collection. I'm going to lubricate. Throat feels better, but not 100%. Then from Belgium into Holland, I picked up some stuff from Yo, Babylon Doom Cult, and they will be throughout this and the next one, because I switched the order up a bit just to make a more interesting video. Just to make a more interesting video. This is Lubert Das with Deluge, Amor Fati 141. The German label that picked up the vinyl version for this one. This is from 2015 already, but it's never been put on vinyl, which is going to be a theme in this video. Show the sleeve first, because the vinyl is just black. There's nothing special to see. A lightning striking a forest. There are two tracks on here: Stone, God's Blood, and Forlorn Ages. Lubertas is one of the bands that comes out of the Haresis Noviomagi stable that has Omar in it, and two others that I'm blanking on right now. They all have just one letter monikers, so it's hard to keep track, or I'm not really interested. But what I am interested in is that Lubertas is one of the, in my opinion, or for my taste, better bands in that entire thing. It is definitely the rawest of the entire stable. They all have, no, I wouldn't say they all have a raw sound, because they all have a very clear sound, except, yeah, I was going to say maybe for the early Tyria material, but the last, the Degen of Licht, definitely has a huge open sound, which this has more of a, it is also that stormy, overbearing, full throttle black metal, but it has, instead of that glorious sound, it kind of drags you in like a maelstrom that just pulls you down, pulls you down, pulls you down. It is atmospheric, but it's a very unwelcoming atmosphere. And then you have the main thing is that you have the switch between those rattling parts that just go, just keep on going, and then there's a bit of a punk stomp on here, It is not, you know, skinhead, it's not Horrible Room, that violent, if you will, but it has, mainly in the drum parts, it shines through. The weird thing on here, the outro, or the last few things, is they are moving some heavy object. It is weird that they end with something like that. It's like they are pulling a very heavy chair over a concrete surface or something like that. So it is a unsettling end to a dark record, if you will. Dark is maybe the wrong word because they never go really dark, but yeah. Do I have anything more? No, I think that's basically it. I have another, I think I have one more tape. This tape, like I said, was from 2015, and it's basically unfindable, those early Haresis Novio Magi. I think the first release was even on another level, on another label, which I don't know which one that is. But it's cool to see that that Amorfati picked this up. They are all over the place. They are on that other label, I don't know. Most of their material comes out through one and the same label, but I'm totally blanking on it now. No, not gonna guess. I have the tape, so I'm not invested in in the vinyl material they are releasing. And then last time we ended on Dead Hymns, which is once again a label that exceeds expectations once you have delved in. The parallel I had for the last time and this time is the Al Araira, the LP they did. The tape version was released through Underground Soundscapes, and that is how I know the next band, which is Brulvahnatu. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Underground Soundscapes. The first one is also a tape from Brulvahnatu, and I think it's the Frozen Obscene Deliverance. Yeah, that tape. It was a nice box. I should have grabbed it, but it's over there. I'm not going to, for the sake of time. But I have two releases from Brulvahnatu. One that was a recommendation by Bulgad, which if you haven't checked that interview, please do. The views are criminally low for an interview that is good, not just on my part, but yeah. Alex gives a lot in that interview. He mentioned this in his top 21, but we'll delve into this a bit later. The first one is At War, and this is a demo from, I have to see, 2008. Now, if you don't know Brulvahnatu, he is a Canadian one-man project called Kip Schreng, and he is in a lot of other bands in the Canadian scene, which keeps blowing my mind. Even in this video, we'll have a chapter that will go back to Canada, and that even today I learned something. So yeah, it's insane. He is in bands like Black Abyss, or was in bands like Black Abyss, Prison Hell, Salal, which is a band that that is on my radar for a long time, but still haven't checked. He was in AMSG, ex Antediluvian, so a lot of all over the place stuff. He also plays different instruments in each band, and there is a very good interview that I will link. I'll try to remember it, where he just says, I play in those other bands just to get my chops up to, just to deliver on Brulvahnatu. It started out, if I have to compare it to something, especially on this one, because the step between this and the, what's the other called? Shining Nagas Territory, the box set, which is the difference between this is miles apart. This I would compare to something like Hail Conjurer, in intent maybe more than in sound, just because of the massively epic sound, but in its very, very simplistic way of it's not the way of playing that is simplistic, but just the sound and the minimalistic, I would say. So the epicness in minimalism, if that is possible, but yeah, it is possible. There are some post elements in here. I would say I linked it to Godspeed just because it is Canadian, and that is the only good post thing I know from, but it never gets as dense or as heavy as Godspeed, for example, but it has that intensity in some parts too. It goes from intense raw black metal, but very minimalistic production, very minimalistic instrumentation, very well played. But yeah, if you look at his discography, it's insane, because this is demo, like I said, 5 from 2008. So he started in 2007. So in 1 year he had 5 demos. There are, I mean, just check his discography. It's really insane. But yeah, Dead Hymns decided to pick some of his stuff up. I think they did the first demo or demo compilation, which eluded me to this day. But yeah, At War, Sight Life, Sight Light, Sight Night, and Sight War. This is the cover. There we go. His promo picture is also really cool. The one where he's posing with a dead feline. I'm not sure what it is. A lynx. An emotionless vessel at war with the world. Last 2 weeks of 2007, Subterranean Hell Studio. All music, recording, artwork by Kip, so it's all done by him, everything. Yeah, it was released on a CDR to 20 copies, so yeah. Anything more? No. Supported me in the last 13 years, so he has been at it. There you go. Vinyl-wise, it's nothing too special. It's not like the Wax Mage versions he did for the last records that are artist copies, which are insanely looking. They are one of the more perfect matches between vinyl and artwork I have ever seen. This is just the black version. But yeah, is there something more I should say? Yeah, so I said Godspeed. It only Lovers Left Alive. The guitar tone kind of reminded me of that. And it also has a bit of Cure going through it, because in a did I write the track down? Nightly Premonition, which is the 7th track that kind of has a Cure vibe to my ears. But yeah, it has this talking style of vocals, and it is basically organic nature worship sound, like something like Hail Conjurer does. You know, he takes the entire thing that is nature and try to condense it into his sound or his music. And this one has some depressive notes laying all over it, coming from the lyrics, but also in the music. It shines through completely. So that is kind of his start. The demo material is basically raw black metal, but that is a very short and narrow explanation for what it actually is, because it's very exploratory, very experimental in some cases, and searching for something. The fact that he then plays in stuff like AMSG, Tzalal, and Antediluvian kind of brings in touches of Bestial, Dead, Black, just the whole maelstrom, and that is where this one ends up. I have listened to 1 or 2 parts of this one, because digitally there's one thing you can find. I'll take it out of the box, but just to see, it is a bunch of stuff. I think the number 4, Tala, I think that one is, I try to link it digitally. It is a mixture between Black and Dead. That is the simplest way to call it. It has very Jekyll and Hyde vocals. If you hear the more whispered black metal, or the more, black metal vocal, it is going in that direction, but it also has this very, more heavy, death metal vocal, if you will. And it's the combination of those two that makes it switch over and over and over and over. Tape switching. I haven't written down too much about this, because Alex warned me this is a piece of work that deserves a lot more attention than just skim over it. Comes with this logo patch, which says a lot about what this band is, if this is the logo. The entire box is like scribbled artwork, white on black, and this consists of 4 records. I'll get them out. So the first one is Atala, and that's this one. Second one is Vittala, I think. And there you go. They all come, or most come, with a lyric sheet. And it seems that if I read it correctly I think I have that this is his last record. It is a big piece of work, so I think he maybe condensed everything into this entire thing. Suyala is the third part. Mahatala is number 5, it seems. I don't know what happened to 4. This is 6. Rasa Yala or Tala, I'm not sure. Can I see it here? Yeah, Rasa Tala. And then Patala. So yeah, scribbled all over the place. This artwork is also very untypical, I should say, but everything is atypical, not untypical, but atypical. It is going to take me a while to get through this thing in its entirety because it takes time to just sit down and actually really listen to it. Because yeah, it's like I said, 4 or more records. It's like A1 to G1. But yeah, come on, records, work with me. I am looking forward to diving in. What is 4 then? Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3. That's V. Am I missing one? Yeah, I'm missing one. So yeah, V should be in here. There it is. There you go. So that is Brulvahnatu. I wish I could tell you a bit more. I'm going to look over it, but I think I went through it all. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It is very worth getting into. Not everybody is going to like it, and I don't think I like it all. Like I said, I started at Frozen Obscene Deliverance, which came out. I didn't write a date on it now, but I can see it here. Sick Creature, Nightmare is also a very good one. That's one of the later, and then Frozen Obscene was from 2015. So yeah, that kind of matches up my timeline when I was into or when I was buying from Underground Soundscapes. But yeah, Brulvahnatu, get into it if you are into, you know, the more experimental side of black metal, death metal, that combination. There is some bestial influences here and there. There are some post, but mainly in the early stuff. So if that is something up your alley, do yourself a favor and get into it. Like I said, there's a lot, but don't be scared to just pick and dive in. I wouldn't start like me again with the box set, but you know, you have to start somewhere. That is part 2, and I'll see you in maybe 4 parts like lately. So I'll see you in parts 3. Part 3, we are listening to the Vampiric Tyrant with Schwarze Schwingen. I looked it up, I have no idea what it means. Black swings? I don't know. This is the part where we delve into some classic material. It seems a lot of albums or a lot of classics that are maybe underrated, or especially for me, not really known. It's not the Dead Crushes or the Bosoms or the Dark Thrones. The idea with Beta is to do earlier scenes, like the Greek scene is the first one we are going to tackle. Not sure how we're going to do it. I'm not sure if it's going to be Handwerk. It's going to be a conversation about, you know, South American, Greek, German, whatever, and everything except the things you already know about. And that's why I'm looking into some of these records. Napalm Records is running through the next 3 in this chapter, and we are going to talk. The first one is Supreme Immortal Art by Abigor, which had his first vinyl release in forever. Labels, I urge you, we did it too with Hypertension. Do not, this is garbage. These hard plastic sleeves. This is an album from 98, and this has been released on vinyl, like I said, for the first time right now on WTC World Terror Committee. It was originally released on, I think, on Napalm, because it's running through all these records. But yeah, on CD, on tape, but never on vinyl. It is it's an Austrian band. They started in '93 with a trio lineup together with another, filled with guest musicians that are later parts. All these bands will have multiple lineup changes, not the last one, but you know what I'm saying. So in '93, PK, TT, and Silenius are the three that started this entire thing. 89, so yeah, there are some influences from the earlier bands that came before them, the Scandinavian stuff. It has a lot of pathos in this record. It has synths, it has bells, it has big drums, you know, like polka, whatever you want to call it. It flirts with pathos and it flirts with cliches, but it never goes over, in my opinion. It has a very medieval sounding sound. And yeah, like I said, this is the last album they did with the classic lineup before all the lineup changes occurred. And it's cool to finally delve into some, you know, other classic material than all the stuff I know. Satan in Me, Supreme Immortal Arts, Soil of Fools, Eclipse My Heart, Crown Me King, The Spirit of Venus, Blood and Soil, Magic Glass Monument, Exhausted Remnants. And then side 3 and side 4 have the instrumental version, the 1st November of '97. So yeah, it's a worthy package to pick up, and you have a lot of material in just one record. Gatefolds with all the lyrics and some photos on here. But yeah, nothing more, nothing less, I would say. So yeah, it is a good release, but it doesn't have like any info or whatever you want to call it. You have to dig for that, I guess. Recorded and mixed during 10 days of November in '97 to January '98 by Abigore. So yeah, cool to finally have some stuff from them, because I looked into getting some material, but yeah, it's being re-released here and there, slowly but surely. But yeah, this is the gold and black splatter merch. I don't think I have a vinyl that looks like this, although I could be mistaken. PK, Silenius, and there you go. Their monikers or the logos for each of them are on the center label. I love the devil resting on his sword center label there. Very beautiful pressing by the label, so it's been done right, except for the sleeve. But yeah, Austrian band. We started in Austria. We kind of stay in Austria for now, but we will jump into Scandinavia. This is the 1 and 2, so the Abigor logo. Like I said, the Orcish Battle stuff and all the previous, because this is by no means their first, I think this is their 4th or 5th full length. It is kind of hard to see what is a EP, a demo, a full length, so yeah. It is mid-career, I should say, although they are still running, so who knows. Then the second one is Satirial with Nord, a record that was popping up everywhere lately just because of the fact that it's gotten a repress by, I have to see, did I write it down? It was also originally on Napalm. Soul Cellar Records did this one. It has been released a bunch of times, but this is like the original cover, the re-releases on Soul Cellar, I think. The previous one just had a black cover with the silver logo running through it. What this is a snow landscape that is reminiscent of later Swedish stuff, if you will, the ancient roster. And sound-wise, I think there is a bridge to lay between Satirial, this record, Nord, and then the stuff that came out of Ancient. Yeah, it's a stone cold Swedish classic I have written down. It has glacial synths running through it, and it is something very different than all the other stuff that came out at the time. It's from '96. It's not very different from stuff I'm running ahead. It's from '96, so it takes its influences from stuff out of Norway. It's always called the counterpart of Into the Nightside Eclipse by Emperor. It is a bit different in the sense that it has a Swedish sound except for instead of a Norse sound, but it is comparable in a sense. It is not possible that they haven't heard what Norway was doing and then take note of that. But yeah, it is a thing in its own. In the Still of a Northern Full Moon, the first track on here is considered a classic track within the Swedish black metal realm, if you will. If you start listening to it, it has this weird Toto by Africa by Toto. You know that everybody knows that track. If you are listening for it, and I'm sorry to ruin this track for you maybe, but you can never unhear it. So yeah, there is one track on here, Der Blood in Me, is a bonus track. It's taken from the For Dem Mit Blood EP, recorded and mixed during 9 days in September of '95. Produced by Tagtren, I think, and Satirial, logo by Jens, blah blah blah. Anything more? No, there you go. Licensed to Soul Cell Records from Napalm Records, there you go. The Napalm tag on there. A very influential label at the start of everything, or at the midway mark of everything, or the second wave. It comes with a lyric sheet with the members. There you go. Some more Nordic forest stuff. And this is the clear version, I think the latest repress, I think 2001, if I'm not mistaken. It has, they all have this smoky clear. There you go. Nice promo picture with the candelabra. So yeah, Abigore, and this one, it is, this stuff for me is, you know, I have to admit, in most of the parts, I haven't delved further than just the classics you always get into when you are first listening to this kind of music. So it is due maybe also to the fact that something like Arcane Archivist is shining a light on stuff like this, that they are being re-released. This is being mentioned in the same vein as Welcome to My Last Chapter by Vittala, another one of those records that is now being re-released and kind of pushed, you know, the purple one you saw everywhere, or you see everywhere. But yeah, very good record that deserves shine. I don't know. Cheers to the old ways. We are drinking, if Atoms was here, he would ask it. We're drinking a Cuvée Freddy Dark Sour 8% Oak Aged, which is very good. There's no bubbles in here or no acidity, but yeah, it's sour, it is sweet, it has everything. Alvin is a very good brewery. Cheers. In the last part of the classics, we are going to Swiss, to Sion, and we end up with Samael. The band that is mostly known for Worship Him. If that is considered the classic, that is the first. What comes behind it, I think they have one more good one or two more good ones, and then they go into this industrial, more maybe even gothic in some parts. This is everything that came before Worship Him. So the Medieval Prophecy from '88, the EP, Into the Infernal Storm of Evil demo from '87, and then From Dark to Black, the promo tape from '89, all put together in one great package. And this is done by, did I write it down? It's also Napalm, but I don't know if Napalm is the record label that put this out. It says Necro Sounds, silver and black marbled vinyl, strictly limited to 400 copies worldwide. So yeah, and this is the sticker that is up there. It's basically a direct lineage sound-wise from Hellhammer, what they were doing in the same country. It is black metal, but it's kind of on the verge of, yeah, it's in the same realm as I think something like Dead Crush was already released, but we are past proto black metal and are into black metal territory. The first one, the Medieval Prophecy, kind of has that more more a slow and brooding approach, and you can hear them pick up speed throughout the promo and the demo and then the promo tape. Yeah, what to say? I wouldn't say it doesn't get its recognition, because the Worship Hymn is the biggest record they did within the entire genre, but this is a very good material if you are, to put it in a stupid word, a student of the, the arts or or black metal. If you are looking into it, if you want to understand what the genre is all about, these 3 tapes are kind of up there with as being masterpieces. They are demos, they are promos, you know what quality to expect. Very young people that are searching for a way to express themselves within that style. The playing is not always 100% on point, but it's just done with so much passion and so much heart. The first one is called Medieval Prophecy. We talked about that label from Belgium, so it gets respect, but yeah, it deserves so much more. It's cool to finally have this on vinyl, because the tapes are, original demo tapes go for, what they go for. So yeah, it's insane. So in the right circles, this gets the respect it deserves. There you go. I don't like the layout per se. It kind of has this ocean vibe. I like this way better. And the artwork on the originals is, better than what they did with this, but I'm not complaining to finally own all 3 in one spot. Vinyl wise, it is a silver and black. They called it something like bullet. It is like the Abigore. This is silver and black. The Abigore was gold and black. Yeah, once again, I don't really like the layouts, but what I do like about it, besides the music, is that it comes with a big booklet, which is always a plus. There you go. It deals from 87 to 89, and it has, I haven't had the time to run through it all. I've read here and there, but the cool thing is they have the original artwork in here somewhere. It starts here. There we go. Very cool. Those tapes would be awesome. The black face. Let's look at that. There's more of the snake stuff. Here we go. So there we are. These are the original 7 inches and tape versions of the Into Infernal Storm of Evil Macabre Operetta. There is some show material, posters and stuff like that. So yeah, they put some work into it. But yeah. That's it. Very cool to finally own these things, and you know, not to have to listen to them on YouTube will be, or is, always a plus. That is the classic part, if you will, of this video. And then we are going to go to Denmark and Canada for something also classics and newer in the last part. Tape's done, so that's perfect timing. We'll see you in the last part. Last part, Volume 4, we are listening to the Supreme Immortal Arts, Abigor, a record to get lost in. For the last part, we are going partly to Canada, partly to Denmark, because this is the Nathatali update and another classic thrown in. A classic in the sense that this is a record from '99. Let's show it first. There you go. Akitsa. This is one I got from Babylon Doom Cult. These are old records in the sense that this one is from '99. It was originally released by Nocturnal Conspiracy, a Canadian label that did the tape version, I think, or CD, I'm not sure, or both, could be. This is the 20-year edition by Hospital Productions. Now, when I was talking about what I have learned, I don't know why, and looking back, I tried to search if I ever said it or not, but I always was under the impression, and for a good reason. That Akitsa, that Dominic Furno was in Akitsa. And I think I even said it in videos, I'm pretty sure. But it seems, by looking into it again, that he had nothing to do with it. I think I messed up because you have Ashpool, you have Departure, Chandelier, and all those things come together. The fact that they are all released on Hospital Productions, that make me make the jump. What this, or who this is Autre Tombe and Neon. So two guys that are basically make up Akitsa. There's a third one that I'm blanking on right now. I didn't write it down. No. Autre Tombe, or OT, is the guy or the man behind more bands than he played in Villains. I think Outre Tombe, the death metal band, is also his, but I made enough mistakes by thinking Dominic is in here. So the main thing besides Akitsa is that he is behind Tour de Garde, the supreme quality Canadian label. He also did lyrics, I found out today because I looked into it. He also did lyrics for Kickback on one of the records. But yeah, Furno never was in Akitsa, but yeah, he was in Departure, Chandelier, and Ashpool, and it's all linked together in that way. I know Akitsa sporadically. I don't have a lot of stuff just because all the records are very expensive. When they re-released all the stuff through Hospital Productions, these were records that were, if you have to buy them here, are $30 to $40 or euros each, which is expensive as hell. They pressed so many, thank God, that distros are, letting them go for less. They're still not cheap, but for less. So I started delving in. I actually ordered the second one, which I'm blanking on right now, but you sent me this by mistake, so I ended up with the first demo, which is totally fine in my book. This is Total Servitude by Akitsa, a Montreal band or a duo that does. I once again have a article, I think it's on Vice if I'm not mistaken, but I'll do the Bardo methodology because it's basically the better of the two articles, where he is talking about his coming up in the Canadian scene. So he's the OT guy, the one from Tour de Garde. He is entrenched in the entire Canadian scene from the beginning, starting from the early days of the mid-90s, late 90s. So Akitsa is his first venture into that world, simply because he found that the stuff that was coming out of Montreal at the time didn't make the cut. He was finding stuff like Burzum and where we all started, but he soon made some moves into making his own music. Very interested in noise and industrial stuff, so that kind of runs through the entire Akitsa thing. Not really the industrial, but the noise stuff, definitely. I have one 7-inch that I showed 2 videos ago, and then this one and Credo. Credo is the last full length from 2018, which is, if you listen to, once again, light failed me. Once again, if you listen to this and then Credo, it is miles apart. It is, in years, it's from 99 to 2018, so a lot has changed. But I think Credo was the first time they worked with a producer. This is raw black metal, if you will. It's raw in production, raw in intent, just because it's recorded on 4-track, they didn't have anything else. But it leans into, it's rudimentary, uncompromising. It's almost outsider art. Always, the fact that Basquiat's outsider art, you can call this outsider art too. It has moments or blasts of black metal, but there is also meandering. It goes all over the place, I should say. They call it ultra elitist black metal, or they called it ultra elitist black metal. But yeah, this is their first sense on this. Great. Bam. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that record. Like I said, it's on Hospital Productions. This is the just standard black. I'm not sure if there was any other color scheme that they pressed it on, but it has beautiful center labels, if that shows up, with the birds holding, I don't know, some scepter. 20e anniversaire, so it says on the records, and expect more Akitsa to show up. I'm just going to do them in order every time I get a Babylon Doom cult. Their main influences, yeah, I would say I try to look into what their influences are, but they don't give a lot of info. It says total servitude marks the mythical origins of Akitsa that began August 99 in the humid chamber of Montreal and continue violently to the present day. Total servitude. Now, if you look at their attitude, killer poster, big ass poster. If you look at their attitude, the way they are playing, where they are coming from, and you know what he's doing with Tour de Garde, and you look at this, I mean, if you don't know by now, if you have a bald-looking dude in his civvies or just his regular clothes staring into a forest and you don't link it to Iljarn, I don't know what we're doing here, but yeah. It is that mixed with everything he was into at the time, and then viewed through a lens of some other guy, the Neont, who is the lyricist, or the lyricist who does the vocals. Or I don't know if he does the vocals, but he does the lyric side of things. He is very into literature, so it's the entire combination that forms Akitsa, and we'll see, or I just started the journey, so yeah, we'll see where we end with that. The link with the last part, and this is this one. There you go. Nice screenshots. Not my face for once. I hope he picks it up. This is the Natatala drop that came a month ago, something like that. Let's keep them in order, maybe the way they are. The first one is Krigstjorten or something like that. Krigstjorn. I think that Krigstjorn with Skikkelser, something like that. There you go. This is a duo release between Natatale and Tour de Garde, which have been closely linked ever since they played together at the Mayhem compound. I think Akitsa played, but I'm not sure. It could be one of his noisier projects that did the rounds. It's called... I have a different title written down, which is kind of weird. I have Live. Oh, no. They have an EP, the Sikkelser EP from... that's this one, and then they have the Live. Och Mellemfiem, I think. That was the EP, the tape they released, I think also through Tour de Garde, but I'm not sure. All of these, so the 3 full lengths, let's call them full lengths just for the simplicity, and even the Vanneberg 7-inch, all have the pagan tag. It seems Natatala is the main source for these things. About a year ago or 2 years ago, everything was called Korpsand. I'm not saying they are going away from Korpsand, but a lot of bands are coming in and they are doing stuff with Tour de Garde. So I think the Natatala moniker or the Natatala label name is becoming more important than the incel Korpsand circle, if you will. Incel in the sense that they were a few guys doing all the bands from the entire Korpsand compilation. It seems that the punk stomp that was prevalent, the term punk, which is used by people like me who try to describe what musicians are doing. I think a lot of bands and a lot of labels are trying to take back the term that is pagan, in the sense that it had a bad connotation in the last 5 years, I would say. And in this case, it just means the love for nature or the love for ancestry without all the bad stuff that comes with it. I like this entire lineup, and I thought I was going to love this the best, but it seems they are equally as good. They are all in the pagan black metal realm. Stuff like Doppelaxe is also in that realm. Stuff like, something like Viking it's prevalent all over the scene. But yeah, I'll show this one first. So yeah, this is the Krigstjorten. I'm not sure, I should practice my Danish. The time of Corpsant foldovers is long gone, and we are now in real record sleeve territory. Very beautiful looking sleeve, reversed cardboard, nice print on there. The colors are very vibrant. It seems they are a 3-piece, and yeah, through the guard, not at all. There is nothing more to say about this one because I thought I was going to listen to this the most, but I listened to the other ones a bit more. All music at Kriegstjorn, Optager 21, Master of, yeah, and Jasper Bagger Hut did the mastering, so Corpsant is still prevalent in this one. I'm going to rush a bit because this will be another 1 hour video, I guess. Now, the vote is in. Long form is the way to go, but I'm sorry, let's not make them all 2 hours, if you will. I'll talk about this one next, and this is the Vaneberg, the new one, the Ifalles Fault, I think. New 7-inch EP of Triumphant Black Metal available at the beginning of 2022. That will be mid-2022. But yeah, a new EP. It's again tagged with the Pagan mark on here. There we go. The promo flyer, which I already showed in a previous update. It is a 7-inch, and this is a fold-over sleeve. Very cool cover with the two people going through a snow-covered landscape. There we go. And it has the Corpsant sword logo. Forest on the inside. They have a few full lengths. This is the new EP from 22, so this is the last thing the entire bunch gave us or put out. It has a more subtle sound than the previous Vaneberg, which had that punk stomp, that Corpsant came up with. It is maybe a cleaner sound or a cleaner style of playing the riffs. I think a lot of these young men, if you will, are also delving into stuff that goes beyond what the first stepping stones of black metal are, and discovering a lot of other stuff or a lot of other influences. This is more akin to the carved cross split, that sound, than the previous material, but yeah, it is a promising direction for a lot of those bands, or a lot of these bands. This is, like I said, a 7-inch. There you go. I Trots and I Falles Fault, 2 tracks, and the details, you know, just the brown inside on the black paper bag make it all worth. It's all in Danish lyric-wise, so I have no idea what they're talking about, but one can make an assumption. Skroch and Scrawl, the two behind this one. I'm sorry, but yeah, once again a good 1-2, and the fact that Turgard and they are working together makes it worthwhile. The Turg Oller, here we go, the Trolled Volkets Komme EP from 2021. The 12 inches are all from 21. This one has it starts really big. It has a big rolling opener. It has thrashing bass all over the place. But what this is it has shamanic influences running through it. It has that meditative state, especially in the interludes. But yeah, the bass on this one, and I think on a lot of the Corpsant stuff, the bass is becoming more prominent. And I see it in more, just more black metal. It started, in my ear, it started with Alcredale, not that they started the bass thing, but yeah. It has very ferocious ways of playing, very ferocious ways of presenting itself. It has snarling vocals, so yeah, it's another different sound, but a very good sound from that stable. I'm not sure who is behind it or who is in it. It's a bit more cloaked in mystery, and like I said, shamanic deities, but yeah. It has some constellation stuff, some stars here and there. My throat is starting. Luckily, we are at the end, but yeah, This is still available. I think the only one that is sold out is the white 12-inch, but that is available from Tour de Garde, if you will. And then my absolute favorite, and that is this one, Untitled, I think, from 2021. This is Skinlift. Their second full-length. They have a demo full-length, promo full-length. I think that's the lineup. This is their second full-length in... Oh, they started... Did I write it down? No. Second full-length once again. This also has very good bass playing, which, you know, if done right, just propels the band and propels the music, and that is what this does. It comes on the heels of the Avuma or Oma first full-length, the one with the horse cadavers hanging to dry. Yeah, it gets comparisons to, it has comparisons to Iljarn here and there, but that is just to, you know, to talk about the punk or the stomp influence, if you will. But bands like Fist or Soren are also mentioned in the same breath as this one. A lot of tracks on here, 13 tracks, but still under, I think, a little under an hour, but I think more than half an hour. But it feels like a very full record, a full length more than EP. Here's the letter logo they are using. Synths, but it's never symphonic. The synths are used in very short attacking notes. It's never sweeping. It just helps to propel the entire record. It's very old sounding. It has this raw whispering from the deep. Yeah, but that vocal style, but it's not a small sound. It's actually a very big sound. The vocals are always on the edge of sanity, and there's even guitar solos on this one. So it has it all. It's a very round record. And yeah, I keep blowing Corpse Sound or that circle, but it's well deserved. The fact that they are working with one of my other favorite labels, Tour de Garde, that links back to Akitsa. It's just, my mind is blown every week. So yeah, we have made it through another bunch. I need to clean up a bunch of records. Yeah, that is new in collection. I think we have, yeah, we are at 159. It's insane if you think about it that way, but yeah. I think I managed to keep the if you wills at bay. We have a lot of good records in this one, went all over the place, so I hope you liked this. I see my head is cut off, but yeah, I don't have a producer. What do you want? Get off my case. I'm going to listen to a few more records and then we'll see where we get. I promised the interview with Danny. He is still very busy, I think, with making packages, and next week is Roadburn, so I don't know what the foreseeable future will hold for White Filth, but we'll be back as usual. You just have to hang tight. Thank you to everybody who commented, you know, subscribed, added to the entire White Filth thing. I don't know what to say in these endings or how to end videos, but yeah, you know me, you know the channel. So yeah, that's it. Notes gone. We are ready. The tape or the record is still playing, but yeah, I'll see you guys next week or the week after that. We'll try to work it out. That's it. Have a great week. Listen to some of these excellent records, and I hope to see you guys.